Why don't we just do this video without Noah?
It's like, no, why don't you just stay back there? Hey, go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead and start this.
Let's try it. Let's just try it like this.
This
Noah,
is Noah.
you stay there real
Noah's
quick.
gonna be behind the camera, guys.
And when
This
I
is
point at
Jeremy's
you, you talk. I'm not pointing at him. I'm not pointing at him. Well, we can. I mean, we can hold so much.
What the fuck?
Your cape's fucking crooked. You're a bad cape
Your
putter on
cape's
her.
crooked.
Oh, shit.
my God.
What are you doing? Ah! Get it on there.
Dear Mother of God, I'll get that gadget.
Okay, got it.
It's not exactly like you.
All right. Some Dr. Claw up in here. I don't
Dark
hate
Seed.
DC. I just feel like Dark Side. Marvel has more prominent characters to follow than DC does for me. That you can just really get into. Which, and I think that's attributed to that's attributed to media and Marvel jumping on media quicker and better and stronger, leaving DC in the dirt. Because,
And Marvel appeals to a much more general.
because there is a shitload of DC characters. It's kind of like, in my opinion, DC is a lot like X-Men, like Stan Lee's X-Men. Because you're looking at all these characters, but some of them don't ever fucking matter. Which I think DC comic books is the same way. Plastic Man. That was the point that was brought up today. Who gives a shit about Plastic Man? Like, that is the stupidest thing ever. But there are people like that. Stargirl, the Star Spangled Boy. Like, no one cares. These are, like, very mediocre characters. And maybe someone does. I shouldn't say that. But
That's my favorite.
that's the type of thing where they're not as strong and as influential because they've never had the chance to
Marvel
be
has-
rebooted into a strong new series.
Marvel has quite a few, like, meaningless characters, like Captain Britain.
There's a ton of them, but I just feel like, and like one of the things that I love about Watchmen is their characters are awesome, but though they're not really mainstream. But I don't know. I feel like Marvel just has so many more like.
Marvel has stronger.
They
lead
just
characters.
have a broader spectrum.
If you stand on the outside and you don't know much about comic books and you're looking at the generation we stand in now, for sure, when you think of DC, I don't care who you are, the only thing that probably will ever come to your mind is Superman and Batman. And I don't have a problem admitting that because I think that's a lack of DC being in more film and stuff like that now. Where Marvel, I mean, you can't pick one person as the top. I mean, you really can't because before it was like Spider-Man and X-Men, and I think that's right when the movies came out, but now it's just...
There's a lot. I think
There's a lot of
Spider-Man and X-Men
strength.
are still.
And people are getting excited
tough,
about
but
things as simple as Ant-Man. Who gave a shit about Ant-Man before? But that's
I
about
don't
to
know if I
become
still do
a
give a
huge
shit.
thing.
and I don't. But then you just have I don't know. Just a plethora of characters.
Right.
Spider-Man, Hulk, Wolverine, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man,
In 1 year
Daredevil,
from now,
Deadpool is blowing up.
in 1 year from now, we are going to have the same conversation. We'll be talking about how badass Ant-Man is because Edgar Wright will be doing the film. Who did Scott Pilgrim, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead.
Did you say that? Didn't you say who
There was speculation that Paul Rudd was being casted as Ant-Man, but now I think they're going to Armie Hammer, from what I've heard. Which
Really?
he's a badass. He was the Lone
Lone
Ranger.
Ranger?
Yeah.
What else has he done?
The Lone Ranger. I don't know who the fuck Armie Hammer is.
I don't either. That's why
I mean, I lose in that sense, but he was also one that was almost casted as the next Batman in Justice League, actually. So, I mean, obviously he's got a
He
strong
can do it.
presence, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though you watch the trailers for the Lone Ranger, and I'm pretty sure the Lone Ranger's not in any of those fucking trailers. It's all
Johnny
Tonto.
Depp.
Yeah, the Lone Ranger, Lone Ranger.
He's on like a
you see
train.
these big logos, but then there's that one trailer where it's nothing but Tonto, Tonto, Tonto. You're like, what the fuck is this? They're all just saying Tonto's. Like, what the hell, Johnny Depp? I mean, I love him, but if it was my choice between Mortal Kombat versus DC or Marvel versus Capcom, I'm Marvel versus Capcom, even though I'm a very heavy DC fan.
Resident Evil.
I think Capcom. I mean, and I think that comes from loving both franchises because I love Mega Man, I love Resident Evil, I love Devil May Cry. So maybe I have a little bit more love there. Where Mortal Kombat to me has just been.
That's the difference for me because
Whatever.
like Super NES, Mortal Kombat was my first ever.
Super
fighting
NES Mortal Kombat was bullshit because it had no blood in it, though. That's why you should have had
but
Sega
it had to do
Genesis.
it for Nintendo. I had to do it for Nintendo.
Right.
But still, that Mortal Kombat that came out for Super NES, whichever one it was, just changed.
It did. Well, no, it did because it was one of the first video games to use CGI render. Actually, those were real people that they used and rendered. So, I mean, it was phenomenal. It was beautiful, and there was a huge controversy on it because people sued the company and saying that it shouldn't have been out there. So more people were like, what is this fucking game? It's so amazing. And it was. Like, I remember going and watching people play the arcades and watching, like, heads get ripped off and shit and being like, what the heck is this? Yep. And then it kind of, but that's what happened. Like, Mortal Kombat, I think after the second game just went to shit until the last Mortal Kombat, which I thought was an excellent
Even
game.
the one before that, though. What was the one we played that had the
Crypt.
The Crypt, yeah. What was that?
I don't remember what that was called.
It was Mortal Kombat, like I can't remember.
I
But
cannot even remember.
it was really, really good. Like, it was another story-based mode where you went through, you picked your character, you went through the story, and you picked, you got points. Was it points?
You got coins.
Coins, that's
throughout
right.
every fight, and then you spin the
coins
coins
with
in
a
the
K.
Yeah.
And then you went down to the crypt, and there's like thousands of fucking crypts lined up, and you just went through and picked the one you wanted, and it just had a skin.
There was
or it
different
had a
coins
new-
too. There's like gold
So
coins,
I guess
green coins.
I see what happened to me
Yeah,
was
that's
I
right.
probably just gave up because I was like, this.
I think
isn't
you
happening.
missed it.
There
yeah,
was some
because-
nice ones. Like I remember the zombie. Like they did like this whole zombie thing with one of them where I don't know what the hell that was.
I don't even know what that is.
But it was like an Xbox game at that point. Xbox.
It was, I think the one we played was
Original.
on Xbox.
Maybe it might have been
I don't
something.
think so.
I think-
it
no,
was
it
on
was-
PS2.
I
I think it was PS2.
think it
man.
was PS2. Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was. I may have Annihilation. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. No, that's the movie.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
But
But I may have
I
that
don't think
game
it's-
somewhere.
I don't
Like,
think it's
somebody
Annihilation.
mad.
I could be wrong, but it was fun.
we'll definitely have
That one was good.
guys on there going, these faggots don't fucking know anything. It's Mortal Kombat versus Chinese men.
So freaking
I don't know what the hell.
Go have Red Ring of Death and go fuck yourself.
I love Nintendo, and I've always my video game origin started with Donkey Kong and continued with Mario, and everything was Nintendo for so long, even from Super NES to 64, and since then, though, it's died down. I own a Wii, but
It was out for the first
ask me
year,
the last
too.
time I played it. I mean,
It set out for the first year, and then all of a sudden it just became, oh, my friends are coming over, let's bowl and get drunk.
Mario Kart blew
Well-
my face off, and
Mario Kart was good.
and a lot of those games are awesome, but they've lost a lot of the magic. I like the originality that the Wii brought. It was
Oh, yeah.
groundbreaking.
Everybody
Obviously.
copied it. Xbox,
Obviously.
PlayStation, so
Yeah.
it wasn't
That's
a wrong
exactly-
move.
It was the future of gaming ahead of its time, but they're gonna have to do something else.
It's very frustrating that Wii Sports is probably the most played game by you or I, anyways. I don't know about you, but the most played game on the Wii was Wii Sports.
I mean, I'm a big...
That's kind of a headache to me.
I buy Nintendo for exclusives. I am a huge
We-
Metroid fan. I'm a huge Zelda fan. So I will be behind Nintendo until those franchises die. But I think until they do more third-party stuff, which they clearly are trying, I think that's all Nintendo is worth.
True,
Right
but
now.
we had a blast playing Resident Evil with a zapper. That was a lot.
We
of
played
fun.
it. We played it a little bit.
But
I didn't
We
get it.
rented it. we
But
didn't buy it.
here's the way to look at that, though, because it's really just an arcade game that you could have played anywhere. I love that game. I have both of them, Dark Side Chronicles and Umbrella Chronicles, because I'm a big RE fan. But I feel like it really could, I mean, at this point, those games could easily be ported. Actually, they were recently ported over to the PlayStation 3 in an HD variation. So really, I mean, it's kind of like it wasn't its own thing. It wasn't something that Nintendo can hold over anyone else. And of course, the developers that made it, Capcom's like, wow, we didn't make shit for Wii. Let's.
It also
on
makes no
PlayStation.
sense to me, and has never made sense to me why they have just abandoned Donkey Kong games.
Well,
Well, they had Donkey Kong, two Donkey Kong games.
I am a fan of Retro Studios' last Donkey Kong game.
And we played it a little. It doesn't.
It was not the old Donkey Kong.
No, but nothing's gonna be. The
But
Donkey
and you have to blame that on the fact that Microsoft stole Rare, and Rare owns a lot of copyright issues that they created with Donkey Kong. So,
Understandable. But
What's
why
the
did they
new-
wait so long to even make another Donkey
I agree,
Kong game?
and it goes the same way though. It goes the same way with Metroid. I mean, I think it's the same thing where we did get the other M, but a lot of people hated it. And where's the next Metroid game? What's going on? So I mean, I think Nintendo has the great exclusives, but you get one or two.
And
a
you
console.
get the first Zelda game in how long?
The last, I mean, you usually get one Zelda game a console when you really burn down to it. I mean, sometimes, Majora's Mask is obviously not necessarily true because we had Ocarina of Time, but it's a long time that you wait. I mean, you nearly wait 5 years for
And
a
you
Zelda
go.
game.
There's a problem. When you go through our Wii section at Blockbuster, and
It's-
there's more. There's one Zelda game. There's one Donkey Kong game, and there's like 5 Kirby games.
Right. Yes, and not to mention, then you look at, I never understood that because then you look at Assassin's Creed, which is a great example of that. We've had 4 or 5 Assassin's Creed games on one generation
Well,
of
dude,
consoles.
Ubisoft is sucking that bitch dry.
But there's no reason that Nintendo can't lead into that to a degree. I mean, there's no reason that we can't get another Zelda game.
Making a Zelda game should not take longer than making an Elder Scrolls game. There's no
Especially
explanation.
when
But
every Zelda game is a reincarnation of a previous game.
But you have to understand, in Japan, that is God.
It's
Oh,
true, but
it is.
but you
it
still
is here too.
should
Still.
not
fuck-
take
if
you
you
as
fuck up
long
Zelda-
to make a Zelda game than an Elder Scrolls game.
If you can fuck up Zelda, dude, your head gets piped somewhere in
It's
Japan.
very true.
That's very true. Because people can say that there have been Elder Scrolls that were. I mean, I know a lot of people that don't like Oblivion at all, and I mean, it's hard to say, but I don't think there is anyone that could ever
I don't
say.
think
No one can ever say that there was a shitty Zelda game
Off
because
with their
even the
head.
people that like Wind Waker was cartoony and stuff, it's still one of the best Zelda games out there. So I don't. That is a valid point. Like there is a lot more that goes behind it.
I love the fact that Nintendo has stuck to their guns and said, we're not doing a DVD player, we're not doing any of that other bullshit.
That's
We're just doing
complete
games.
opposite of
And I-
Microsoft.
It
Microsoft,
is.
oh, we're gonna do all this stuff, and then
Everything.
we just kid. And Nintendo is still, no, we're going.
And
I
see,
do.
We're still fucking.
PlayStation is
We're
the,
still fucking
the
going.
right balance, right in
Oh,
between
God.
there.
Maybe in a later episode, I'd love to touch on achievements.
Well,
Because that is almost 50% of why I'm an Xbox guy.
right.
It's made me 10 times more competitive with games than I ever was before.
It's gonna it will affect people no matter what, because even trophies, trophy hunting. I mean, it's something I'm to the point where I have so many consoles and so many games I don't give a fuck anymore. But there is that part of me that's like, I've got such a big score, and like that it matters to carry that over and continue that legacy of keeping it going. Which I guess that's the smart part.
How
of
long did
Nintendo's
it?
part,
How long?
'cause they
How
never
long
did
was it? How long was it after achievements, the trophies came in? It couldn't have been that long.
It was fairly quickly because then PlayStation made it mandatory that every game have it because that
Yeah.
was a big factor for
I have.
people.
There's only a few launch titles that I have that within the first few months that didn't have trophies. I think Haze was one of the last ones, which I think was like 2006. I don't
The
know.
most ingenious ideas added into a console ever.
It is.
I
It's
love
smart, unless you're the fucking asshole that's finding every little piece of thing.
Everything. You're like, did you
And then
go
and
to
then
work
and
or
then you
eat?
have and then you have certain games. Then you have certain games that are like collect the dog tags and collect the photos and collect the coffee thermoses. And there's like 4 different things that you're trying to collect. It's like, okay, I can understand collect the dog tags. Okay, that's all.
Or it's like complete
Shut the fuck
every
up.
single Injustice challenge, and then you see that asshole, the one in the world that did it, and you're like, you know what, go fuck yourself, because I don't even like you.
And I'm one of those guys that's
Fuck
like, in Grand Theft Auto 4, it's like, kill all of the 2 billion pigeons. And you get to the end of killing them all after you search up and cheat off a YouTube guide, and you kill the last one and no achievement pops. You're like, oh, fuck me!
And
I killed all those white fuckers.
It's ridiculous. And white fuckers. And Assassin's Creed, the very first Assassin's Creed did the same thing,
Yeah.
and there was a flag
The
attached
flags.
to a bird. You don't know where that's going to be.
But, I mean, me and Noah don't have the rivalry so much with achievements, but I have them definitely with one of our other buddies, and it's completely driven me to have a much more drive to play video games and enjoy
You would never
it
even
more.
play, even.
It helps
There's a
developers
lot
too.
of games on my list, man. I got CSI, some bullshit like that, just because I was like, you know what,
Lost.
I'm gonna yeah, Lost.
Lost,
Well, granted, before I look like a complete douchebag, those were free rentals, and I was bored.
But it's the truth, and I think it helps the developers because, I mean, Lost is right there. You just
But I
paid
found-
99 cents.
I
to
ended
get all
up
the
finding
achievements.
games that were really good. My CSI game was actually made by Telltale, and it wasn't awful. It's the same people who did the Walking Dead game. It wasn't awful. It obviously wasn't something amazing, but it wasn't awful. It was a point-and-click game, so take it for what it is. But there's a game that I'm still trying to get you to play, Shadows of the Damned, that I never would have played if I had seen somewhere, this is a good game for achievements. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And after playing it, Shadows of the Damned was amazing. It
There's plenty of
completely
those.
revamped.
When I got crazy about achievements, I started playing Velvet Assassin, which they said it was really easy achievement one, but I fell in love with it because it's based on this true story about this girl in, some Nazi bullshit, whatever. But it's a true story about her going out there and killing Nazis. And
Yeah.
you're like, wow, this is fucking badass. And then you research it, you play the game, it's fun, and then you're like, oh, I got achievements. I'm definitely not that big of a
Here's the
hunter
thing,
now, but-
I've always been a guy to more big games than to have a huge collection. But if a kid spends $60 on a game and he goes home and he's like, well, I beat the game, what else should I do? And there's all these achievements that say, here, help the game last longer. Here,
I beat
do
Call of
this,
Duty in
do
4
this.
hours. Now what?
Yeah,
now, of
well,
course,
we'll get some
you got
achievements
online,
now.
but
It makes the game last longer and
you
give you
replay.
more bang for your buck.
I'm replaying The Walking Dead to get all the achievements. I'm replaying, well, that one, those were verbatim, but
Yeah.
Jurassic Park actually is a great example
Jurassic Park,
of
yeah.
replay because there are different alternate routes.
It's impossible, but Dead Space, amazing achievements in that game that push gamers to the absolute limits.
The only problem with that one is that by the end, if you ever were to complete that, you would just hate yourself because that would be insane.
It's true. It's true, but even in Halo, a lot of the achievements forced you to play game sets, variants that you never would have played, and you're like, wow, this is actually kind of fun.
Or if
I
you're
should
not a
enjoy it.
rich asshole, though, I mean, you wouldn't really hate yourself for the Dead Space one because you're like, Dead Space is the only game I got in this chicken.
It's true. It's very true. I'm just saying the fact that you
Right.
have to go back through. All
I'm to that
now.
point where I can't do it.
3
'cause there's
times.
way
I mean,
too
but
many
if you're
fucking
sitting,
things.
say you're sitting in a room with a guy and he's like, yeah, well, I beat Dead Space on the hardest setting. I was like, really? Why don't you show it to me on your achievements? He's like, well, you can't just say, oh, I lost my save data, or I'd show you. It's like, no, show me the fucking achievement, you little lying bitch, because I know you can do it.
I mean, you cannot deny the fact that if you add a new friend, please tell me, what is the first thing you fucking do when you add them?
check their achievements.
Do I have
And
a
you base
higher
their
trophies?
gamers,
Do
and
I
he's
have
like,
higher-
okay, well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. And the reason I'm more towards Xbox is because I've built up a decently high gamer score for how long I've been playing on Xbox, and I know if I switch to PlayStation, I'll lose it.
It's 5 years gone. I agree. Well, 7 years.
7 years, really, yeah. I've been playing that system since a couple months after it came out.
Yeah, I had mine at launch, so.
I got mine like a week after it came out.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
PlayStation I didn't get until maybe 2 years in, which was kind of depressing because I'm always there.
I was like 2 or 3
But-
years
I
in.
think it was 3 for me.
Yeah. I got mine like... Well, we got ours at the same time.
We got. Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we did.
We
We split the cost of one because we wanted to play... What the hell do we want to
We
play?
actually.
We
Well,
wanted to play Final
I was gonna
Fantasy.
say, we
but
wanted to
didn't
go back
have
to the
Final
arcade and
Fantasy,
play
yeah.
Final Fantasy 7. That's what we wanted
Yep,
to do.
that's what it was.
Supper off.
Look at these
You
kids.
asshole. We bought a PS3 to play Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7 you can play on a PlayStation 1, though. You don't need a PlayStation 3.
You just don't understand.
You don't get our struggle.
I want the wireless controller and the 6-axis.
What else did we want to play?
With Gran Turismo, there was something else that was a big driving force. It was DC Universe. It's one of the big reasons why we wanted to play that.
Yeah, we
DC
never even
Universe.
played it.
It's
Mhm.
good to hear from this kid, though.
That was an intriguing game. That looked very attractive. A superhero, interactive.
I still play. I have a really hot green chick, and she's awesome.
Why would you make a
Nice.
chick?
Okay, this is no. This
We
is
all know why
this
Trevor
is-
made a chick.
This is a very good conversational piece because every time I do my reviews, if I ever play as a girl in the review, when I do Mass Effect, I always play as Femme Shepard. And a lot of people are like, why the hell would you do that? If I'm going to stare at a fucking character for the whole time of the game, I'm going to stare at a chick's ass. I am going to look at a chick. And not to mention Femme Shepard is a badass. But my point being, why look at a guy when you could be looking at a girl?
I don't spend time staring at the ass though. That's the problem. I play this game.
Well,
I'm not sitting there.
I'm not
January.
sitting here devoted to Shepard's
Marvel
ass.
versus DC.
But-
Which games have the best asses?
Like, would you rather play a game? Would you rather
Who has
look?
100 chicks?
Yeah. That's what it's burned down to me. I'm gonna play as Power Girl
Captain
before I play as
Marvel.
Spider-Man. I mean,
Supergirl versus who? I don't know. Hottest Marvel chick.
Well, I put
Hardest-
my vote in for She-Hulk.
Yeah,
Hardest Marvel.
Good God.
hardest Marvel.
There's a couple cuties in there.
I've always liked Black Cat, but I think
Black
that's
Cat's-
the boobs.
Like those things.
Well,
are
there's
just
But then
like-
that's safe to say that
hanging
that's why I like
around.
Power Girl. So
Yeah.
Power Girl versus Black Cat. I don't know. Damn it! Why did we go here? Because we need to wrap this video up. Marvel.
Can you count Mary Jane?
Dude, there are some good pictures of Mary
There are
Jane.
some good pictures of
Like-
Megan.
There's like the one where she's all dressed up in the Spidey suit and the short
Yeah.
shorts and go get him, Tiger. And I'm like, damn, Mary Jane.
Well done,
Shout
Peter.
out Spider-Man.
You did
Well
well.
done, Peter. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Storm, I'm sure attracts a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
people.
I actually like Halle Berry as Storm, actually.
There's somebody that I'm trying to. She's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of who it is. Like it's coming and it's going. I'm like, she is a sexy ass Marvel character.
Damn it.
But if we're gonna pick any, I mean, Watchmen's got some pretty good looking chicks in that.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, but I still
Silk
pick,
Spectre, dude.
I still pick Power Girl.
Silk Spectre.
Which is funny because Amanda Connors did both those. Power Girl and Sid.
You like Power Girl better than Supergirl?
Yeah.
We have
I
derailed.
like her a lot more. We have. This is done. Who's your favorite DC and Marvel
Lady
girl?
Deadpool.
That's the question of the day. I'm done. We're gonna wrap this up.
It depends on how
This fucker's
elaborate
not
we're
wearing
gonna
shoes.
be. Shit.
No, what the?
I was. I
Dude,
thought.
fuck off.
Get off the screen.
Get your fucking
This is our
cheap
cameraman.
ass out of here. Just because you run the camera doesn't mean you can't wear fucking shoes.
All right, video game junkies. This is a new show
We
that
didn't
I've
do
been.
that over real fast because I just
Because-
did something really weird. I wasn't
my
ready.
best
Well, here's what happened.
Whoa,
I
dude,
didn't
that
realize
sucked.
I didn't realize you already started. So I literally did this. I literally went. And then I was
Like as if this shit is garbage. What's up, video game junkies? This is a new video we're gonna start up. I've got some friends here. This is Noah down on the end, Jeremy. If you guys want to say anything about yourself and let everyone know in the audience.
We're gonna back this up one last time. I swear this is the
He
last
fucking
time.
hates it.
I swear, no, I don't hate it.
All right, what's up, video game junkies? This is Trevor Clark. Obviously, this is Noah, Jeremy. These are some good friends of mine, and we actually do a lot of bullshitting talk from time to time. And I'm realizing that we can make this into a great series. So we're starting a new series called
CGM.
Fucking shit! I was gonna say GCM. We're gonna talk about comic books. We're gonna talk about video games. Obviously, we're gonna talk about movies. I think we're gonna try to stick with super. Fuck me. This is not gonna work.
I'm from planet Nebronian.
That's not a place. Okay,
Yeah.
so focus on the camera, guys. And basically, what I'm going to say right now is just to kind of tie everything in. We all previously worked at Blockbuster, which is a shithole. And it was an exciting shithole.
I didn't know if you were rolling. Just do that. I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
What'd you do?
Go again. Just go.
What did you fucking do?
You
just
said
like-
focus on the camera and you started, and
No,
I
it's
thought
not.
you were just still talking. So
But you were focusing on the camera, were you not?
I wasn't.
Oh,
So-
what are you doing? You don't even
He's
listen
like,
to Mike.
he's like, I was looking
Go,
outside at that
and
ball.
I'm there. I'm focused. I'm in.
I
Go.
am never gonna be a good
It's okay.
producer if you continue to follow my
If
rules.
you continue to crush my dreams.
Okay, go.